Picture the high-stakes atmosphere of a movie premiere. The cameras flashed, the crowd froze, and just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession, watching a star fall.
You can almost hear the red carpet screams, right?
hmm
The anticipation of this Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah, but then cut sharply to the silence of an empty movie theater.
Crickets.
Literally. We are talking about Christy, the boxing biopic that Sydney Sweeney absolutely transformed her body for.
Gaining 35 pounds.
Working 19-hour-day days. It was supposed to be her raging bull, and instead, it didn't just underperform, it historically crashed.
Welcome to StarScope Report. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jordan, and our mission here is to uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and those viral influencer scandals you see on your feed but maybe don't fully get.
Right, from red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, we are doing a deep dive on one very specific, very viral headline, why everyone is turning on Sydney Sweeney.
And this isn't just about one bad movie. It really isn't.
No, it is, it's a tangled web of leaked emails, political culture wars, and a PR strategy that just seemingly went up in flames.
It's a masterclass in what not to do. We've got sources ranging from box office reports to leaked PR emails, plus industry analysis from places like The Nightly and The Independent.
So we're really looking at how someone goes from being the internet's absolute darling to facing this massive backlash from the public, and this is crazy, her own peers.
Her own colleagues. Yeah.
Yep, let's unpack this. We have to start with the numbers because they are genuinely shocking.
They're bad.
Christy opened in over 2,000 theaters. For a star of her caliber, you'd expect a pretty decent turnout.
Sure.
But it earned a dismal $1.3 million.
Just to put that in perspective for you listening, that landed it in the top 10 for worst box office openings for a wide release.
Which is catastrophic.
It is. But before we bury the movie completely, we have to look at the context. Why were the expectations so high in the first place?
Well, because before this, she was the it girl. She was seen as this mogul. You remember when she did Madame Web? Everyone made fun of that movie. But she famously called it a strategic business decision to build relationships with Sony.
So the narrative was that she was playing 4D chess while everyone else was playing checkers?
Exactly.
But I have to push back there. Was she actually a mastermind? Or did we just want her to be one?
What do you mean?
I mean, Madame Web was objectively terrible. Did the industry give her too much credit for what might have just been a happy accident?
That's a fair point. But she did leverage that relationship to get Anyone But You made, which grossed over $200 million. So on paper, the strategy worked. The industry viewed her as someone with real bankability, someone who could open a movie just on her name alone.
Until Christy.
Until Christy shattered that illusion.
Yeah.
And here is where it gets really dark. It wasn't just the flop, it was the absolute panic that followed.
This is where we get into the mechanics of the collapse. We need to talk about the leak.
Oh, this is the main event for me. So journalism sources, originally posted by Bro Bible, they circulated these leak emails from her PR team in print public relations.
And honestly, desperate is the only word for it.
Oh, totally desperate. They were emailing journalists, literally begging publications to put a positive spin on this disaster.
You have to hear the actual text to believe it. One excerpt from the email read, quote, "Would you please mind updating the headline? We are 99% positive on the popcorn-o-meter. Box office aside, this one's a win in all the ways that matter."
Okay, hold on. The popcorn meter.
Yeah.
I feel like I see that on Rotten Tomatoes, but why is a professional publicist citing that to a serious film journalist?
It's a crucial detail. For those who don't live on Rotten Tomatoes, the popcorn-o-meter is the audience score.
Right.
Unlike the tomatometer, which is verified critics, the audience score is notoriously easy to manipulate. Bots, superfans, coordinated campaigns.
So film journalists care about critical reception and actual box office receipts.
Exactly. By citing the popcorn meter, her PR team was basically admitting, hey, the critics hate this and nobody bought a ticket, but the internet bots love it.
It's a concession of defeat dressed up as a win.
It feels amateur.
Like something a Stan account does on Twitter, not a top-tier PR firm representing an A-list celebrity.
Oh, but it gets worse. There were accusations of institutional scrubbing. The team tried to request editorial privileges, basically asking to rewrite headlines that were already published.
It's editorial privileges. That sounds so bureaucratic. What does that actually mean in practice?
It means they wanted to edit the news, There is a strict church and state separation between PR and the newsroom.
Right, like you can ask for a correction if a fact is wrong, if they got her age wrong or something.
Yes, but you cannot ask a journalist to change their opinion or the angle of a story just because it makes your client look bad. Requesting editorial privileges violates that ethical boundary.
So they thought they could just bully independent outlets the way they might bully a TikTok influencer.
Which shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how legacy media works.
They were trying to gaslight the press.
Essentially. And there were even accusations of bot-driven reviews on Rotten Tomatoes to artificially inflate that audience score they were bragging about.
Which explains the 99% positive claim in the email.
Wow. And the reaction from the industry was brutal.
Right, yeah.
You had public relations professionals on Reddit calling this malpractice, calling it cringe.
Because it smells of panic. When you are a mogul, you take a loss on the chin. You say, we made art for impact, not numbers.
Which, to her credit, she did eventually post something like that on Instagram.
She did. But the leaked emails behind the scenes revealed a team that was scrambling to manipulate reality. It completely shattered the illusion of her being this untouchable business genius.
The curtain was pulled back.
Yeah.
But a box office bomb is one thing, right? Actors have flops all the time. The million-dollar question is, if she is so famous, why didn't her fans show up?
Exactly. To answer that, we have to look at who her fans actually are. And it turns out she spent the last year courting an audience that cares way more about culture wars than cinema.
That's not even the wildest part. Wait until you hear how a pair of jeans got the former president involved.
Okay, let's get into the great jeans controversy. This is where the story shifts from a business failure to a full-blown political firestorm.
Right, because she recently became the accidental or maybe intentional face of the anti-woke movement.
This started a while back, right? With that birthday party in Idaho.
Back in 2022, it was her mom's 60th birthday. Photos came out showing guests wearing Blue Lives Matter shirts and red hats that said, "Make 60 great again."
I remember that. She defended it at the time, calling it an innocent celebration. She claimed the guests were just friends from LA making a joke.
Which was a plausible defense back then. People have family members with different political views. It happens.
Sure.
But fast forward to June 2024. Public records show she registered as a Republican in Florida. Now, to be clear, that is her right as an American citizen. We're not taking a stance on that.
Right.
But in Hollywood, perception is currency.
Absolutely.
And this context exploded when her 2025 ad campaign for American Eagle dropped.
Oh, the tagline. The tagline was, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Jeans.
The double entendre was inescapable.
Yeah.
Jeans the denim versus jeans the genetics.
Right.
Critics immediately labeled it a dog whistle for genetic superiority and outdated beauty standards. It became this massive cultural flashpoint.
And then Donald Trump entered the chat.
He did. He posted on Truth Social, calling it the hottest ad and praising her.
Wow.
And here's a wild stat. American Eagle stock surged 24% after that endorsement.
So financially, the controversy worked for the brand.
It did.
But for her, she did an interview with GQ recently, and when they asked her about it, she refused to apologize or really even clarify anything. She just said, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans.
Analysts are calling this the silent blackout strategy. Her PR team seems to be operating on a policy of total isolation.
Just ignore it.
By refusing to engage with the subtext, she becomes a blank canvas. The right projected anti-woke goddess onto her. The left projected willfully ignorant or complicit.
But wait, if the stock went up 24%, isn't that a success? Why did Christy flop if she had this massive new audience?
Because of the demographics. This is the critical error. Think about the audience that hangs out on Truth Social or celebrates Blue Lives Matter. Are they the same demographic that buys tickets to see a gritty A24-style indie movie about a female boxer?
It's probably not. That sounds way more like the Euphoria crowd.
Exactly. The Euphoria fan base, Gen Z, progressive, diverse, those are the people who support indie cinema.
Right.
By leaning into the anti-woke persona, or at least refusing to distance herself from it, she alienated the very people who would have bought tickets to Christy.
Oh, wow.
The people praising her great jeans on social media were using her as a political meme. They weren't supporting her as an artist. They didn't show up to the theater.
That makes so much sense. She's stuck in the middle.
Totally stuck.
She tried to control the narrative by staying silent. But a year ago, she controlled the narrative by faking a romance.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, later in the episode, we'll talk about the shocking twist regarding her co-star that nobody saw coming. Well, until she actually admitted it.
The Fomance Masterclass.
Yes. This is the other side of the coin. Because if Christy was a failure of marketing, anyone but you was an absolute triumph of manipulation.
It really was. That movie grossed $220 million. It's basically revived the rom-com genre.
And a huge part of that was the rumors. The rumors that she and her co-star Glenn Powell were having an affair during filming.
Despite her being engaged to Jonathan Davino at the time.
Right. The internet was obsessed. People were analyzing their body language, eye contact, and interviews. It was everywhere. And then the reveal...
She just came out and admitted to the New York Times that it was all staged.
She actually said, quote, "I was on every call. I was in text group chats. I wanted to make sure that we were actively having a conversation with the audience."
And Glenn Powell completely backed her up. He confessed he didn't have the mental capacity for it, but said, "Sydney is very smart."
A pure marketing ploy.
And at the time, we all applauded it. It was seen as brilliant. But look at the pattern here. First, she fakes a romance to sell a movie. Then she stays silent on politics to sell jeans.
It creates an authenticity crisis.
Exactly. If everything is a performance, who is the real Sydney Sweeney? And if you look at it now, especially in light of the bathwater soap.
Wait, we have to talk about the soap. This is the weirdest detail in our research stack, and I feel like it's being totally overlooked.
It is so bizarre. She did a partnership with Dr. Squatch Soap, where she sold soap allegedly containing a touch of her own bathwater.
Bathwater soap. I mean, going from being a high-end ambassador for Miu Miu to selling bathwater soap.
It's not just weird, it's structurally significant to her brand. Selling bathwater has a very specific connotation in internet culture.
Yeah, it links right back to Belle Delphine and that whole gamer girl bathwater moment.
Exactly. It moves a celebrity from being an aspirational figure, like a movie star you look up to an exploitative figure. It feels like OnlyFans marketing, not Academy Award campaigning.
It feels like a cash grab.
It is a cash grab, and that's the shift. We went from respecting the hustle to feeling exhausted by it. There's a concept called parasocial exploitation. She is mining every ounce of her fans' attention for profit, regardless of how it degrades the brand.
And it's not just the public turning on her. Industry peers are reacting, too. We saw that Ruby Rose publicly called her a cretin.
Which is a very strong word.
Very strong. And SCA and Amy Lou Wood were seen liking posts critical of her.
This suggests the silent blackout isn't working on her colleagues. They see the machinery. They see the editorial privileges requests. They see the fake romance.
There's an interesting theory from Matt Baloney in the sources that I think ties this all together perfectly. He talks about promotional satiety.
Yes, this is fascinating. Baloney argues that in the TikTok era, consumers skip the product and enjoy the promotion.
Okay, unpack that.
Think about it. You see her on Hot Ones eating wings. You see her on the red carpet in a stunning dress. You see the viral clips of her arguing with Glenn Powell. You have consumed 20 or 30 minutes of Sydney Sweeney content for free on your phone.
So you feel like you've already seen her.
Exactly. You are satiated. You don't need to drive to a theater, pay $20 for a ticket, and buy popcorn to see her act. You've already had your fill. The promotion was so loud, so omnipresent, that it actually cannibalized the product.
That is terrifying for the movie business. If the promotion is more entertaining than the product, the box office just dies.
It does. And right now, the drama surrounding her, the emails, the politics, the soap, is way more interesting to people than her performance as a boxer.
If you are loving these Hollywood twists and want to know who falls next, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
So if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, what are we really seeing here?
We're seeing a star who went from a business mogul who engineered a fake romance for millions to a polarizing figure selling bathwater soap and begging journalists for good reviews on a flop.
The silent blackout strategy left her completely undefined. By not speaking, she allowed politics to hijack her brand. She tried to play both sides or no side, and ended up with absolutely no audience for her passion project.
And the tragic part is, and I really want to emphasize this for you listening, critics actually said she was good in Christy.
That's the irony. She transformed, she put in the work, she gained the weight.
But does talent matter when you've lost control of your own story?
Does the art matter when the artist has become a meme?
That is the question.
In 2026, you can be an actor or you can be a culture war symbol. But as she's finding out, you can't really be both.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.